The USA, they don't do it for the money, they do it for the country. It's not about the fame, they do it for the, they do it for the, they do it for the USA. Lock and load, boys, time to explode, boys. Make sure you get home, boys. They got your back, the pride of the fleets, the pipe swinging frog men of the UTT.
Vern, get with me after the
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, iRacing fans from around the world, welcome to another live broadcast brought to you by KMA Racing and All Pro Broadcasting Network. Tonight, we are at TNT Tuesdays, race 14 of 15, and we are out here at Kentucky. I am Scott Kolovic, your announcer for the evening. Joining me up in the booth is my good friend, Joel Guy. How are we doing, Joel?
Scott, I'm doing just great tonight here in the bluegrass state of Kentucky, waiting to watch some good racing.
And good racing is what these gentlemen are here to do. I did a great job last night, going to do a great job tonight here at Kentucky. Go on and tell us all we need to know about Kentucky Motor Speedway.
Kentucky Motor Speedway is a 1.5 mile oval, has 4 turns, but they're not all the same. Turn 1 and 2 is banked at 17 degrees. Turn 3 and 4 is banked at 14 degrees. The tri-oval is banked at 10 degrees, and the backstretch is banked at 4 degrees. Makes it interesting trying to set up a car with all these different degrees to work with. It's mostly cloudy here in the bluegrass state tonight. Zero wind in 72 degrees with the track temperature of 83 degrees.
A little bit of a warmer track temperature than what a lot of our guys are used to dealing with on other tracks and surfaces from around the NASCAR circuit, but I'm sure they're going to work it out and do a mighty fine job. As I mentioned, this is race 14 of 15. Tonight will be the next to the last race, but no fear, we will be restarting this series in 2017, starting up on January 3rd. So big shout out to our series sponsor, Jason Russo with Pro Automotive out there in Dudley, Massachusetts. Thank you, Jason Russo, for all you do for the guys here on the TNT Tuesdays. Now, this is a points chase as well, and we are nearing the end of this. So with tonight's race and one more left to go, we've got Dustin Lee out there in front with 455 points. Jarrett Lipster in second place with 438. Tristan Beats with 435, tied with Michael Jeans at 435, and Jack Watts with 433. So pretty sure that one of these 5 drivers are going to wrap it up here at the series next week when we finish out the TNT series at Las Vegas in the Xfinity class. So Joel, how do we drive Kentucky out here? I mean, it's obviously not a speedway. You said we got all sorts of varying degrees of embankment here. What's the driver to do tonight?
Well, it is a speedway, but you're going to have to drive it. You can't just flat-foot it all the way around here. The speeds are going to be high, but it's going to take tire management and throttle control to get around this track. With the difference in the degree banking, one corner is going to handle turns 1 and 2 are going to handle 100% different from 3 and 4. So you cannot drive into 1 and 2 the same way you drive into 3 and 4. You have to be able to drive into 1 and 2 one way, and the other end of the track you're going to drive into a different spot in a different lane of traffic to get through that corner.
Now, these drivers are going to have to be keeping it very close on their tires here tonight at Kentucky. As you mentioned earlier, this track temperature is set at 83 degrees, and that is going to chew the rubber off of these tires. So they're going to be on the brakes, they're going to be watching their tires, going to be sitting on about a 36-lap fuel load with a race length out here. What we are carrying, you know, these guys are probably looking right at about 2 to 2.5 pit stops out here. Tonight's race is 80 laps. So they're going to have a lot of decisions out here to make. Now, some of the names out here, Joe, we're looking at, James Lehman, Mitchell Reeves. Talk to me about Mitchell. That's a big name out here.
Mitchell Reeves is a good driver. He has won a lot of these races this season. He finishes up in the top unless he gets knocked out by something not his doing and doesn't have a reset so he can get back in it. He's been an excellent driver all season, and I expect to see him at the front.
Mr. Reeves working along with Michael Jeans. Michael Jeans getting some support out there tonight from Amanda Stewart. Big shout out to Amanda Stewart. Now, two other young drivers out here dominating last Tuesday were Jarrett Lipster and his good friend Tristan Beats, along with Travis Browder, in fact, pulling down a 1-2-3 last Tuesday. So they have got high hopes. Have actually earned the nickname the Young Guns. So I'm going to see a lot of action out here tonight from the Young Guns of Travis Browder, Jarrett Lipster, and Tristan Beats. Drivers have finished up their qualifying run. Taking on the mighty P1 position tonight is the number 1 of James Lehman with a 30.663. Second position, the 02 of Mitchell Reeves with a 30.735. Interesting car numbers right there, 1 and 2, taking up positions 1 and 2. Kind of interesting. The number 68, Damon Gilbert, third spot with a 30.750. The number 18, Travis Browder, is at a fourth position of 30.775. And fifth position, Scott Sanderson in the number 93 with a 30.806.
Hold on, man.
Sixth position belonging to the number 21 of Steve Dukes. Wesley Whitfield running for Southeast Motorsports, position 7 tonight.
Position 8 will be Raymond Rittenauer. Position 9 will be Michael Jeans in the number 8. Position 10 is Dustin Lee in the number 51. Position 11 is Vernon Marheim in the number 11 car. Position 12 will be Nathan Sylvia in the number 14. Position 13 is held by Jarrett Lipster in the number 99. Position 14 is Craig Kennedy in the number 90. Position 15 is Jeff T. Martin in the number 15. Position 16 is Andrew Williams in the number 4. Holding 17th position is our sponsor, Jason Russo, in the number 39. And the 18th spot is Garrett Strata in the 77. And 19th is Mark Jackson in the 3. And 20th is Nick Reynolds in the 54.
Position 21 belonging to Michael Corson tonight. Number 66, Edward Bray in 22nd. The number 34 of Brent Cool. Position 23. The number 73 of Justin Anderson, position 24. And 25th position belonging to Bobby Everhart. A lot more drivers back there, and we're going to talk about those drivers later on tonight in the broadcast. Want to get up to the front and watch these drivers line up. Now on these starts, Joel, these starts are extremely critical. They are done on leader's discretion. On a track like Kentucky, I noticed quite a few drivers did not qualify. Now, what is their frame of mind right there between qualifying and not qualifying?
Well, you don't qualify. You start at the back and you try to stay out of trouble to start when they're in a big group. When the field streams out, you don't have as much chance of getting into a problem.
And we are getting ready to get off onto our first start here of the night. James Lehman out there with a very powerful start, along with Mitchell Reeves. Mitchell Reeves dropping very early down into that inside lane as James Lehman up into the outside lane. And Mitchell Reeves coming underneath James Lehman on the first half a lap. A lot of high hopes out here for Mitchell Reeves, as well as James Lehman tonight. Damon Gilbert hanging out, but just threatening on a 3-wide position here, Joel.
Yes, they're already trying to go 3 wide, and that's mighty early to be going 3 wide. Too many laps left in this race to be going 3 wide already.
Now this track is plenty big enough to do that 3 wide, possibly the 4 wide situation out here. We're looking at James Lehman, Damon Gilbert, Mitchell Reeves up there in the top 3, but Travis Browder in the number 18 right now in position 4. Started to threaten a little bit, had to back out of that accelerator, dropping back into position 5. We're looking at the number 21 of Steve Dukes, hot on the tail end of Travis Browder. Travis Browder picking it back up, getting back up to The David Gilbert.
Travis Browder's back in fourth now. He's tracking down the 0-2 of Mitchell Reeves and trying to get past him. He's about 2.5 car lengths away from it. We have back up front, the leaders are nose to tail trying to pull away from the pack and stay in straight line. Nobody's trying to pass up there at the moment.
Well, right now, that's the best thing to do here at Kentucky is go straight line formation. James Lehman, Damon Gilbert, Mitchell Reeves, and Scott Sanderson staying straight line formation here. Tonight's race is 80 laps. We are on lap 4. So far, so good out here, Joel. Now, last night's first caution did come out at about lap 6 or 8, and then they ran for 40-some laps, completely caution-free and without any incidences. So an early caution out here would not really surprise me, Joel. All drivers trying to find their marks out here at Kentucky. It's not a track we run at very often out here in the TNT series. So we thought we'd throw it out here as a surprise for the boys, and so far so good here at Kentucky.
Yeah, I think you'll see that the drivers are going to try to be a little bit cautious. We just did have one car that got off track, but he saved it and got back on. I can't see his number, but everything's going good, so we'll just keep the cameras where they're at. It was a heck of a save, though.
All right, now the way things are going with James Lehman and Damon Gilbert up here in the front, they're just kind of riding along, not really pressuring the pack too much. So we're going to drop back into the back of the pack a little bit for some more exciting action going on with the number 39 of Jason Russo. Jason Russo getting pressured up by the number 54 in the 3-wide situation with Raymond Rittenauer. These drivers were 3 wide early on, and caution is out. And we're looking at the number 5 up against the wall, Michael Corson. Unfortunate break 4. The number 5 of Michael Corson drifting up into that wall, making contact with the number 211 of Tristan Beats here on lap 7. Replay brought to you by GW Graphics. All right there, Joel, we're just going to talk about some good hard racing there, but the number 5 definitely did drift up that track into the 211 of Tristan Beats here. You figure that was a situation with overshooting that track, Joel?
It's possibly overshot it, but the way the car was running towards the outside wall, I'm leaning towards more possibly a tire going down because it didn't look like he could turn it at all.
Well, he certainly wasn't off for lack of trying. Now, unfortunately, the 006 of Verlis Falcons absolutely nowhere to go as the number 5 was blocking the track. So the drivers involved in our first caution, the number 5 of Michael, of course, the 006 of Verlis Falcons, and the 211 of Tristan Beats. Early caution out here at Kentucky. Looking into pit lane, there are problems in pit lane as well. Everybody is coming down pit lane. Oftentimes that can be a very difficult situation. Pit lane very busy out here on our first lap. We're going to get a driver's interview as soon as our race leader is out of pit road. Good idea to always take 4 tires here at Kentucky. James Lehman currently pulling out of pit road. We'll be out there in that P1 position. High expectations out here for James Lehman tonight.
Looks like on pit road we're getting 4 tires and fuel on all the cars that I'm looking at. The 71's one of them that just took on 4 tires and fuel. So looks like everybody's making an early stop for tires, which is going to be a good thing because tires are going to be premium.
Right, copy that. Now, James Lehman, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, sir. How about you?
Very good. You're up here in the front position. Saw you did go into pit road. Get on fresh rubber. What are your thoughts about Kentucky tonight?
It's a very hot, slick track tonight. It's really tight and it pushes a lot.
Alrighty. So, are you pretty good out here at Kentucky?
No, this is actually one of my worst tracks, so for me to be out front is kind of shocking, to be honest.
Alrighty. Copy that. Are you going to choose to stay out front then?
I plan on it, hopefully. I mean, but if it gets too wild up here, I'll probably fall back a little bit.
Alrighty. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
I'd like to give a shout out to you guys for putting on this great race and for Michael doing the all-pro broadcasting.
Alrighty. Copy that. Good luck to you, James.
You too.
James Lehman out there in the U.S. Army 01 tonight. Big shout out to James Lehman and his service out there with the United States Army. We've got time for one more interview before returning to some green flag racing. Mitchell Reeves, an often visitor up here to the booth. How are we doing, Mitchell?
We're doing pretty good. Just trying to get settled in this race and see how it all plays out tonight.
All right, now copy that. We are nearing the end of this 15-week series. Going to finish up next week out there in Las Vegas. You're doing very well in the points chase, but how are you feeling about your chances here at Kentucky tonight?
You know, I really am interested to see what happens on the long run, Scott. I think Kentucky's always been one of my favorite tracks, basically just because of the speed that it brings. One thing that's kind of interesting about how it's set up tonight, you got speed weather with the daytime, so when you get that together, the cars wanting to slide a lot on entry, which is really killing the right front. Me and the teammates were just talking. Our tires were down almost 3% just in 7 laps. So it's going to be hard to make tire strategy tonight. It's going to be hard to make anything work with 2 tires, unlike last night at Auto Club. So going forward with this race, I think if we can get a green flag run going, I think it's going to be who can really save the tires and who can have the best long run setup. And I think it should be a lot of fun for the viewers. And maybe we'll be up there in the top 3 or first tonight and have a good show.
All righty, copy that. I'm going to let you go, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you by the end of the night one more time out there on the podium.
Thanks, Scott.
Mitchell Reeves right there restarting this third position spot here at Kentucky. High hopes out here for Mitchell Reeves. Want to give a big shout out. We got the paint booth guys out there watching tonight's race at Kentucky. Big shout out there to Mr. William Wise, as well as James Wormsley out there, keeping William company on the All-Pro Broadcasting chat channel. Getting ready to get back to some green flag racing here at Kentucky.
Yes, we are fixing to get back to green flag racing. The pace car's in, and James Lehman's took off, already gone, trying to get away from the pack.
Now,
Damon Gilbert's falling in behind him.
Interesting little situation right there, as we did see James Lehman and Damon Gilbert take off. Damon Gilbert immediately out of that outside lane down to that inside lane, and below that inner line trying to get up onto the rear end of James Lehman, but they pretty much ended up in the same spot at the same time. So what Damon Gilbert thought it might have been an advantage did not work out to be an advantage, pretty much got him nowhere. Right now he is down there utilizing every bit of this track, trying to get a run up there on James Lehman. James Lehman admittedly a few minutes ago announcing that this was not a very strong track for him. Damon Gilbert does not know that though, but right now James Lehman looking like a true professional, holding off the number 68 of Damon Gilbert.
Definitely James Lehman's looking like a professional out here, and I think he was sandbagging on it not being one of his good tracks.
Now, Joel, I am noticing position 2 and position 3, Damon Gilbert, Mitchell Reeves, dropping down below that yellow line now here at Kentucky. That line is not doubled up such as it is at Talladega or Daytona. So these drivers can drop below that yellow line on the inside to try to gain a bit of a run. What are your thoughts on that maneuver?
Well, the maneuver is good. It gets your car level, and so you get more speed down there on that line. But when you transition back up onto the banking, if you don't hit the banking at the right angle, it can definitely put you in the wall.
Right now, keeping an eye on Damon Gilbert, it does not seem to be bringing him any advantage at all as he keeps trying to get past on number 1 of James Lehman. We are looking at Mitchell Reeves gaining ground up to positions 1 and 2. Scott Sanderson hanging back there in position 4. Now there is bumper contact between Damon Gilbert and James Lehman. Damon Gilbert giving the iron horn there to dear old James Lehman tonight on lap 16. A little bit early to be a little that aggressive right now, early on, Joel.
Absolutely a little early to be that aggressive. They still got green flag pit stops to go. Doesn't matter what Damon Gilbert gains by doing that. He's going to lose it if he goes into the pits and James Lehman pits behind him or pits before him. He'll lose that whatever he gains. So that's a maneuver that I would not be doing.
Right now, these drivers are running lap times in the mid-30s. 30-point James Lehman with a 31.231. Damon Gilbert with a 31.252. Achieving speeds upwards of 162, 63 miles per hour, up to 100 and mid-70s, 77 miles as they're coming around the longest part of this Kentucky Speedway. But then they've got to get right back down off that throttle, trying not to use a lot of brake, more so trying to de-accelerate and keep control of tonight's vehicle, more so foot control with the right foot rather than a braking foot.
Yeah, basically the only thing you use your brake for is to set the front end so that you can rotate the car through the corner. You just on the brakes enough to make the nose dive so that you shift the weight, transfer the weight to the front.
Caution is out.
Caution is out. We are looking at the number 71 making contact up there into the high wall. Unfortunate break for the number 71 tonight, being driven by Bobby Everhart. Now, Bobby Everhart is one of our senior drivers. We're going to take a look at that replay brought to you by GW Graphics, and looks like Bobby just overshot up there into the wall, ricocheted off of that wall down onto, looks like the number 20 of Matt Clifton and the number 99, I believe, of Jarrett Lipster. Very unfortunate break for those drivers. Great job by Nick Reynolds, able to safely get on those brakes and avoid a rear collision with the number 71. Great job there by the number 54, Nick Reynolds, but unfortunate break here on lap 18 with Bobby Everhart meeting Mr. Wall here.
Definitely, and that is something that when you're on a slick track and your tires start wearing, the car's not going to turn. It's just going to keep pushing straight up.
Now, our race leaders up there in the front, we definitely will not mind this caution. Will give them a chance to duck into pit road. Now, as Mitchell Reeves and each of these drivers are burning up their tires left and right early on. That is confirmed as James Lehman does go into pit row.
Definitely, the drivers, I believe, are going to come into pit road every time there is a caution and get 4 tires, because this track just is slick as glass, and the tires, when they get hot, they get slick and they can't hold the track.
Well, these drivers were given 2 backup vehicles tonight to get themselves through tonight's race. Big pit row action with the number 1 of James Lehman trying to get out of pit row, actually getting run over by a driver, and he's going to lose several positions there coming out. I'm not sure exactly what that was all about on the exitway to pit road. James Lehman stuck down on the inside, barely moving around the track at 40 miles per hour. Interesting situation there right now for James Lehman, and that is going to cost him several positions.
Definitely, it's going to cost him some positions. I don't know. He might have got damaged and have to go into pit road to get it repaired from the speed that he was running, because he was not getting up to track speed very quick.
No, sir, not at all. Well, right now we're going to get a quick driver interview in with my very good friend, always a pleasure to talk to up in the booth, is the number 18 of Travis Browder. How are we doing, Travis?
Hey, Scott, how you doing tonight?
Doing very well tonight. What are you thinking here at Kentucky?
Saving that right front tire. Saving tires is everything here because the tires can go away pretty quick here at this track here at Kentucky.
Now, copy that. Now, one of our, Joel mentioned to me that he's pretty sure that about every caution comes out tonight, we're going to be ducking into pit row and taking 4 tires. I'm going to assume that you are agreeing with that.
Yes, sir. 4 tires will be everything here. It's a nice day out here for racing, and it's a day race. It's going to be fun to watch.
All righty. Anybody you would like to give a shout-out to tonight, Travis?
Scott, you for KMA, Jason Ruscio for the sponsor, Richie B's Pizza, John Hendrick, Paints and Designs, Becky Whitburn. I want to tell y'all, hey, hope you two are watching.
Copy that. Big shout out to you as well, Travis. Always doing a great job out here. Hopefully you will be up there on the podium.
Alrighty, thank you, Scott. Also, Jared and Tristan, my young guns.
And that was Travis Browder. One part of 3 with the gentleman that we call the Young Guns out here, dominating last Tuesday.
Pay attention
Now
to the
another
line
member
and
of
be
that
safe.
another member of that trio was Tristan Beats, Young Gun number 1. How about it, Tristan?
What's going on, Scott?
I just wanted to check in with you real quick and see if you think the Young Guns of KMA are going to get up to the front and dominate tonight as you did last Tuesday.
With practice, Jerry and I were doing really good, and I was feeling really good about it, but tonight just feels like we both have targets on our backs. We've been taken out already, both of us, at this early point in the race, but hopefully it starts going green and we can make it towards the end without any more incidences.
Okay, we're about to go green here in just a minute. We're pacing towards turns 3 and 4, where the pace car will duck off, and then Mitchell Reeves will take them to the start at his discretion. We'll just hold and wait until he takes off, and then we'll start announcing again. Pace car has not left the track as of yet. Pace car is off.
Back to some green flag racing here at Kentucky. Mitchell Reeves, Damon Gilbert off side by side. Mitchell Reeves off with a big start, immediately down below that yellow line with Travis Browder tight in tow. Travis Browder trying to work his way up there to the front. And if I know anything about Travis Browder, once Travis Browder gets to the front, he is going to stay up there in the front. We have got the number 68 of Damon Gilbert up on that outside lane. Ducking down, trying to follow the exact path of our race leader, Mitchell Reeves. Travis Browder, side by side with the number 93 of Scott Sanderson, just about bumping doors right there on that 25. Scott Sanderson with a big run on the outside of Travis Browder. Looks like Travis Browder might be losing a couple of positions as the number 73 of Dustin Anderson onto the outside of Travis Browder. Now we're going to see a lot of different lines out here tonight, Joel, and right now Travis Browder opting for a more standard line, whereas Michael James right behind him in his rearview mirror opting for more of a lower line formation, and it appears that Michael James in that low line is very soon going to advance his position onto the number 8 of Travis Browder.
Definitely he will. However, he'll advance his position, but he'll burn his tires up doing it, because trying to get around the bottom, you heat the tires up more because you put more bind on the tires than you do running the high line.
Number 14, Nathan Sylvia, just taking a nick out of the front end of another driver here. Wasn't enough to really cause him any problems, but it was the number 73 of Justin Anderson. Doesn't appear to have any front end damage, but that could have been a complete disaster. That will drop. Caution. We're going to take a look at that on our all
Okay, we
broadcasting
got
replay.
we got a car hit the wall on the back stretch. It's number 39, but he's rolling, no caution. We're back running on the track.
Caution is out. Trying to figure out this on our all pro broadcasting replay. The number 39, being driven by Jason Russo, did get up into the wall. Unfortunate break for Jason Russo tonight, TNT sponsor, triggering the next caution. Right now, this is our second caution here, lap 28 of 80. Mitchell Reeves out there in front, drivers ducking into pit row. Actually, the number 68 of Damon Gilbert faking out pit row, opting to stay out with Scott Sanderson. That does put our leader, Mitchell Reeves, into pit row. But Damon Gilbert, Scott Sanderson, and Travis Browder opting to stay out. That might be a very good decision if we do have an early third caution, hoping to see that not come about tonight. But here at Kentucky, proving to be a little bit of a struggle early on.
Definitely Kentucky's a struggle because it is hot. The track is hot and slick. So racing on Kentucky is gonna be a struggle tonight. I don't think it was a good idea to stay out. They're going to get blown by like they're sitting still.
All right, we'll copy that. Let's ask Damon Gilbert what his thoughts are about this. Damon Gilbert, have you got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
All righty, now you opted to stay out. We thought you were going into pit road, did a little bit of a fake out right there. What are your thoughts on staying out here? You anticipate another early caution?
No, I got tired of running second. Wanted to just be out front for a little bit, not worrying about the result or anything.
All right, now you are going to be on a little bit older tires. Are you expecting to get run over on the track?
We went like 2.5 laps or something. I think we'll be all right, even though it looks like, oh no, they faked it. I was gonna say they looked like they were pitting right there, but they weren't. But I think it'll be all right. By the time the 5th place guy gets up to there, I might hopefully have a little bit of a lead to where the time it takes him to run me down, my tires will already be as equal as theirs are.
Alrighty, copy that. Anybody here out here running for or running with Damon?
I'm just pretty much by myself tonight.
Alrighty, copy that. Damon Gilbert, the lone wolf. Good luck to you tonight.
Thank you.
Scott, he can say that his tires are just about as good as new ones, but they're not. I don't care if they only got 2 laps on them. They're still worn, and those new tires will make a difference.
Tire wear will be everything out here tonight at Kentucky. Sitting back in 4th position, we've got Steve Deutsch. Now, Steve Deutsch is an extremely aggressive driver, but absolutely, without a doubt, knows what he's doing. Has had a lot of luck out here on these intermediate speedways. How about it, Steve Deutsch?
Good, how are you guys?
Very good, sir. Talk to us about what your thoughts here are at Kentucky. You're going to speedway up through this like you usually do, or are you going to take it easy?
Well, I'm going to see what I can get up here see what these guys can do on no tires. I came in and took tires, but it's going to be all about tire management this race. It's like a cheese grater out here. They eat through tires out here. It's crazy.
Alrighty, well hopefully you brought plenty of cheese and can stay away from the grater tonight. Good luck to you tonight, Steve.
Thank you.
Now, as Steve mentioned, tire wear is going to be everything. Going to be another very interesting restart. Some of these drivers up here in front chose not to take tires, and that, like you said, Joel, is going to possibly get them run over tonight.
I'm pretty much banking on the fact that they're going to get run over not taking on tires, because not only are the tires had a couple of laps on, now they've cooled off a little bit. So they went through one tire cycle, and when tire goes through a tire cycle, it gets hard, and when it gets hard, it won't grip.
Currently, we still do have 33 drivers on the lead lap. Michael Corson, our first 1-lap driver down. Burles 2 down. Jason Russo looking at 2 down, but all is not lost. These drivers do hang out in the back of the field and remain safe and sound. On the event of another caution, they can very easily get their lucky dog position right back. So there will be other racing going on in the back of the field along with Michael, Verlis, and Jason as they fight to get their laps back. Possibly even getting him back the hard way, but they're going to have to dart right up through this field. Pace car is in. Travis into the rear end of the number 68 of Damon Gilbert, trying to give him a push off of that start. Damon and Travis are immediately down below that yellow line, back up onto the track. But Damon Gilbert, like a rocket, out of the gate here on lap 32. Scott Sanderson falling down into the groove line of Damon Gilbert, and Travis Browder losing a lot of momentum. But the caution is out.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
In the back of the field, we are looking at the number 11, unfortunately involved in tonight's incident, but not sure if he was actually at fault or not. We do know that Matt Clifton in the number 20 was involved with it as well. Vernon Margheim, number 11, appearing to make contact with the number 20 of Matt Clifton. Not sure if either driver went up or went down. Looks like a good, solid racing deal right there. But unfortunately, the number 55 of Scott Amy and the number 99 of Jarrett Lipster, and 74's Wesley Whitfield taken out as well. Goodness gracious, that might have been the big one, Joel.
Yes, it might have. They got a lot of cars in that group. Even Edward Bray in the 66 was caught up in it. So we took out a lot of good cars and good drivers on that one.
Well, and they were four wide right there before that caution did spring up. But looking at it one more time, I do believe that, you know, I cannot tell, Joe, right there. It was close racing between Matt Clifton and Vernon. But unfortunately, that will bring out our fourth caution here on lap 32 in race 14 of 15 in the TNT Series.
Yeah, that just looked like hard racing, and just car lost grip and come around.
But it does happen here at Kentucky. It happens at a lot of tracks, and again, as you mentioned earlier, you know, these drivers, they have got to be very spot on cue out here at Kentucky. And we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back at you. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, back to our caution lap. We are under, getting ready to go back to some green flag racing here. We will be taking lap 37 of 80 here at Kentucky. Now, so far, Joel, it has been a little bit heavy on the cautions tonight. Hopefully these drivers have taken something away from the 3 cautions within the first 36 laps. And, well, I don't know what you would take away from them, Joel, but I'm going to be taking away about 4 sets of extra tires tonight.
If I could put 8 on the cart one time, that's what I'd want to do, Scott.
Damon Gilbert will be restarting side by side with Scott Sanderson, but I tell you what, right now, the driver that I would like these cameras to be looking on is number 21 of Steve Dutz, and 18 of Travis Browder, sitting back in 3rd and 4th spot. 2 completely different driving styles, but yet they drive very similarly. Different parts of the track they will be driving on, but both drivers, Steve Dutz and Travis Browder, very aggressive, very good, very precise drivers, but oftentimes that anxiousness can wear you out. Pace car is in. Damon Gilbert out of the gate very early. Steve Dutz trying to keep up the speed with Damon Gilbert, but Damon Gilbert already 4 car lengths out and up into that high lane. Steve Dutz trying to track him down. Scott Sanderson trying to squeeze down in front of the number 72 of Ryan Kuhn. Barely clears him, but does clear him indeed. Now, as I mentioned, we're going to take a look at all 4 of these drivers up front. But right now, Damon Gilbert seemingly to be pulling away from the 21 of Steve Dutz.
That I don't understand on old tires, how he's managing to do that. He's a heck of a driver to be able to do that, Scott.
Well, now he is having his lane duplicated by Steve Dutz, pretty much following the same line. But Scott Sanderson in P3, his tires finally coming into play here, and he has made some very quick work getting up to the rear end of the number 21 of Steve Dutz. Now, these drivers have to be very careful out here tonight, as our viewer William has just notified us still. These drivers do need to calm down. But right now with Scott Sanderson, he cannot calm down. He is almost up to that 2nd place position. And if he calms down right now at the halfway point, up in 3rd position, he may not get up here again, Joel.
That is true. We might not. He might not. We're
Caution is out. This will bring out our 4th caution of the evening. It appears that the number 3 of Mark Jackson involved in this 4th caution of the evening. Mark Jackson tonight driving the number 3 Gravedigger.
Yeah, it looks like, Scott, that Mark Jackson in the 3 got on the yellow line, jumped back up on the track, and caught the 54 of Wesley Whitfield, and both of them went into the wall.
Now, Mark Jackson is a very good driver, seasoned driver here at KMA Racing, dipping that 1 tire down there on that yellow line, though, and coming back into the number 54 of Nick Reynolds. Unfortunate bad break. Wicked jerk, though, Joel, almost like he was trying to do a right-hand turn.
Yeah, but Scott, when you hit that yellow line, you try to correct and get off of it. If that yellow line wants to, it can snatch you right back on the track, like you turned left or right instantly, a 90-degree snap.
Now, the worst part of this, Joel, unfortunately, a lot of other drivers were caught up into it. We're looking at the number 71 of Bobby Everhart caught up into it. The number 39 of Jason Russo caught up into it as well. The number 78 of Donald Stewart not able to avoid contact. Nathan Sylvia in the number 14 as well. So a lot of drivers out here tonight collected up into our 4th caution of the evening. These drivers doing the best they can out here, but definitely, as Billy Wise did suggest, these drivers need to settle down just a hair out here tonight at Kentucky.
Absolutely, they need to settle down, Scott. They're driving, in my opinion, they're driving too hard for the track conditions. They're racing each other instead of trying to race the track. to get to the finish and then race the drivers.
They need to settle down and get into some green flag pit stops here, and I think that there would be very changing the game out here tonight. They need to get into pit road, get these cars separated, get out of this pack racing, and as you mentioned, race the track. Giving us time to get a quick interview in. We don't talk to this fella very often, but joining us up in the booth is Jeff T. Martin. How are you doing, Jeff?
Good.
Now, I know you are a very experienced driver out here, working your way up to 6th place at the halfway point. A lot of drivers out here struggling with tire wear early on. How are you surviving out here?
I'm just saving tires. I'm just trying not to get in the turns too hard. I let the front guys just go and wear their stuff out, and I'm just kind of just keeping pace with them and just rolling it in real easy.
Copy that. Now, anybody out here that you're running with or running for, tell us a little bit about Jeff Martin.
We run Southeast Motorsports, and we're inside of All Pro Racing, and there's about 6 of us that run together, teammates out here running tonight.
All righty, copy that. Southeast Motorsports, very strong force out here within the NASCAR industry. So good luck to you, and good luck to the guys down there at Southeast.
Thank you, Scott.
Southeast Motorsports right now is dominating the points race in the Monday night and the Tuesday night series, to be perfectly honest with you. They've got some great drivers out there. Michael Jeans, I believe, is the head Southeast Motorsports, out there being rooted on by his better half, Amanda Flame Stewart, tonight. Michael Jeans is out on that P1 position right now on our 4th restart of the evening. Joining us briefly in the booth is Michael Jeans. How are we doing, Michael?
Oh, we're doing pretty good tonight, Scott. How is it looking up there?
Well, a little bit heavy on the cautions here. We are at the halfway point. Hopefully we are done with the cautions. A lot of drivers out here talking about tire wear. Track is burning you up. How is it treating you?
Excuse me. About the same. It's really hard on the right side tires. You know, you can kind of coast, but you can't get no. You know, everybody else will just run off from you. It's a hard track to hang on to, man.
All righty, copy that. But somebody out here will be up there in the P1 position. You reckon you got a shot at it?
Yeah, I believe I do. Like I said, I started in the back this go round, or this last caution, just, coasted to the couple of laps till the caution came out, so I should be good on tire.
All righty, copy that, and good luck to you and the guys at Southeast.
Thank you, Scott.
Getting ready to get back to some green flag racing. Quick reminder, Friday night, the Oh No It's Pocono, our celebratory birthday race for our good friend Ivan Garcia, turning 72 Friday. Back to some green flag racing. Michael Jeans out on that start very nicely. Steve Dutz on the outside rear view mirror. Scott Sanderson down to the inside in P3 position. Right now, Michael Jeans out there in front, just running for his life, trying to break away from the pack. It appears, Joel, that if you're out there in the front at any point in time tonight, it's probably where you want to end up staying. What do you think?
Definitely. This is kind of like Daytona and Talladega. If you're the leader, there's less chance of you getting involved in something at this track because it's all going to happen behind you.
Mitchell Reeves right now sitting in position 5, racing for position 4, takes position 4 away from the number 73, and here comes Travis trying to get up to the rear end of Mitchell Reeves, coming on the outside of Justin Anderson. Travis Browder and Mitchell Reeves both making a charge to the front. Mitchell Reeves just about 3 car lengths away from our 3rd spot, Scott Sanderson, here on lap 46.
Yeah, Mitchell Reeves is trying to track down Scott Sanderson, and he's getting closer and closer to him. So we're getting there with him.
Well, he is there, Joel. He is on his outside, side by side on the inside, but has to back her down a little bit. And as he does back it down, Travis Browder is right there banging on the rear end of Mitchell Reeves. Travis Browder trying to get a run out on the outside of Mitchell. But Mitchell having the definite advantage on the inside lane. But Travis not holding back here on lap 47.
Yeah. While you were talking about Mitchell Reeves, we had the number 34 tag the wall, but he didn't calls a caution, so everybody's cool now.
01 of James Lehman and Travis Browder making contact. 01 coming up underneath Travis Browder, clipping him on the rear end. That is going to slow the young squire Travis Browder down, losing a couple of spots right there to James Lehman.
Travis might have lost the spot, but he'll get it back.
There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. He will get it back, but right now he is being pressured by the number 73 of Justin Anderson as Travis tries to get back up to the rear end. Slower traffic up high. Travis able to safely get around the slower traffic of the number 93 of Scott Sanderson. Not sure what happened to Scott there, but Scott losing several positions. Travis Browder continuing on his charge to the front. He is currently in position 6, slowly gaining up onto the rear end of the number 20 of Matt Clifton.
What happened with Scott Sanders was him and 21 got together and no damage, just got together and Scott lifted to get off with 21 and lost a bunch of spots.
Good decisions for Scott Sanderson right there. Hard racing up in front with the number 20. The number 2 of Mitchell Reeves and James Lehman. James Lehman down onto the inside of the 02 of Mitchell Reeves. Matt Clifton and the number 20 involved in this three-pack party going on here on lap 50. We are on lap 50. 30 laps to go, 80-lap race. Mitchell Reeves and James Lehman side by side, fighting hard, trying to catch up to Steve Dukes and Michael Jeans.
Yes, Scott, and with 30 laps to go at this track, it's time to go. So you're going to start seeing some three-wide racing. You're going to see some drivers taking some chances that they wouldn't have been taken.
Keeping cameras on the number 20 of Matt Clifton, getting very aggressive. Did momentarily take it three-wide with James and Mitchell. Backed out of it, then came back and gave a little bit of bumper there to the 01 of James Lehman. So Matt Clifton, the number 20, in it to win it, taking a big run underneath James, having to back her out before he rear ends the 02 of Mitchell. And all that work that the number 20, Matt Clifton, just did, he just did lose. Not losing a position, but losing several links. And there he goes, back up, gaining that ground back. So right now, the number 20 of Matt Clifton, in a rubber band situation, he'll get up there to James, and then he'll fall right back. Completely different driving styles between James Lehman and Matt Clifton.
Definitely different driving styles, and like the old saying, you might get to his bumper, but getting to his bumper and getting by him is two different things.
Right now we are looking at him almost to the bumper, almost getting by. Very tight racing between Mitchell Reeves, Steve Dukes, James Lehman, and the 20 of Matt Clifton. Almost into a three-wide position as James Lehman getting onto the bumper of Mitchell Reeves. Now, Mitchell Reeves down below and off that track onto that darker section of the track, which is perfectly legal here at Kentucky. Didn't do him any good, though, as he is still right back where he started, side by side with the number 20 of Matt Clifton, pushing onto the rear end. Matt Clifton down to the inside, going to get the run on the number 21 of Steve Dukes. Number 20, Matt Clifton, battling side by side, tighter than a hair in a biscuit here on lap 54. Both of these drivers wanting that number 2 spot. Very hard, great close racing with Steve Dukes and Matt Clifton.
Yeah, their door handle to door handle and banging door handles, so they are doing hard racing now.
And it does appear that the number 21 of Steve Dukes got the worst of that, losing several positions right there. Might have been one door handle too many as Steve Dukes dropping back several positions. Back up to the front, the exciting guy on the track is James Lehman. and Matt Clifton, second and third position. Mitchell Reeves in tow with position number 4. Very tight racing, and they are slowly catching up to our race leader of Michael Jeans. Matt Clifton within a stone's throw away from that position 1 of James Lehman, and Mitchell Reeves are not giving it up here.
No, they're not giving it up, and as long as they stay one car behind the other like that, they will gain position, because you do get a little bit of a draft here at Kentucky.
Michael Jeans, our race leader here on lap 57, getting a woohoo, go baby go from Amanda Stewart out there on the All-Pro Broadcasting chat. William Wise liking what he is seeing out here on lap 57. We're getting ready to go 3 wide. Thought this drivers were going to go 3 wide. James Lehman backing out of that 3 wide. I believe that Mitchell Reeves would have liked to have seen James Lehman take that 3 wide, as Michael Reeves having to let out of it a little bit. Contact with James Lehman and Matt Clifton. No caution will fly. I'm not sure if Matt came down or James went down or Matt went up, but nonetheless, minor damage. But that will cost James Lehman back to position 4, and that will give the advantage to the 0-2 of Mitchell Reeves. And now they are bumper nose to tail with Michael Jeans. Michael Jeans keeping a very close eye on that outside lane. It is a 3-on-1. And we are under caution, ladies and gentlemen, as the number 55 of Scott Amy drifts up into the wall and comes down on the Squatty Potty, driven by Matthew Quick in the 89. Unfortunate break there for Scott Amy in the number 55. Just overshot that track, came down, clipped off the rear end of the Squatty Potty. Matthew Quick, only drivers that were caught up in this 6th caution. Well, that's the good side of that one there, Joel.
Definitely, it's a good thing. All the other drivers got by, so they're safe. They don't have any damage. So, unfortunately, Squatty Potty did get damaged. So, hopefully, he's got a backup car in the garage to replace that one with, or he can get the repair done without losing a lap.
Now, a lot of these drivers, due to these 6 cautions, might be on their last backup vehicle out here tonight. Been a little bit of a rough night out here at Kentucky. As I mentioned earlier, we don't run at Kentucky a whole lot here, Joel. A lot of these drivers are more so used to Atlanta, Vegas, Talladega, of course, Daytona. So tonight, Kentucky being just a little bit of a chore out here for these drivers tonight. We're going to get a quick interview in with a driver in the back of the field and see what he's thinking as we are nearing the 20-lap to go mark. Joining us up in the booth is the number 88 of Gary Burt. How are we doing, Gary?
Doing really good, Scott. How about you?
Doing very well. I haven't had a chance to get the cameras on you tonight. You've been hanging out here in the back of the field. Is that a choice you're making right there, trying to hang out until the last few laps?
Yes, that would be correct, Scott. That's the game plan.
Alrighty, copy that. Now, what are you seeing up there in front of you, going on those 15, 16 positions up in front?
We're driving really hard. I'm driving harder than I want to, just to maintain what I'm doing here, trying to save some tires. But with all the cautions, tire wear really hasn't been an issue. So just racing really hard, Scott.
All right, copy that. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to? That's a pretty slick looking paint job you got on that car.
Well, thank you. That would be old Lug Nuts and Over the Top Designs. For sure, give him a shout out. Of course, KMA and All-Pro Broadcasting. The regulars, the ones that work really hard to get this thing going and give us a chance to get out here and turn left and drop the hammer on these cars.
Copy that. All right, good luck to you out here tonight, Gary Burke.
Thank you, sir.
Now we are getting the update out there on our All-Pro Broadcasting chat from Kristen Phillips, saying the update number 3, Mark Jackson, has been released from the Infield Care Center. So that's always good to hear for the number 3 of Mark Jackson. But unfortunately, Not able to return to tonight's race. Unfortunate break for Mark Jackson. Right now we are looking at 26 drivers remaining on this lead lap of lap 61 here at Kentucky Motor Speedway. Going to give us a chance to get a chat in with the last driver on the lead lap. How about it, Andrew Williams? Have you got a copy, sir?
Yes, I do, Scott. How are you tonight?
Doing very well. The important question is, how are you, sir? You're back there in position 26. You're still on the lead lap, though. 61. Need to be working your way up to the front of that pack, I suggest.
Yeah, I misjudged with how long these laps were going to run for. I was running a bit of a strategy there, and I was seeing what the 2 tyres, and then just taking 3 tyres earlier on did, but I missed the calling. When I got involved in that wreck, I should have really grabbed a spare car from the hauler, and but instead I went 2 laps down.
All right, 2 laps down. All right, my bad. Anybody you want to give a big shout out there to tonight?
I just want to do a massive shout out to All Pro Broadcasting Network, Michael Domenico. Obviously KMA for putting on these fantastic races. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much for having me here tonight.
All right, good luck to you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Andrew Williams. Now you will notice, ladies and gentlemen, that nice little accent Mr. Andrew has. A frequent watcher out there of the All Pro Broadcasting Network. Now he is from Australia, the land down under. I call him my favorite kangaroo. Right now he is able to get one of those laps back just by staying out there on that track during this caution, getting the free pass, as it is called in the land of NASCAR. Getting back to some green flag racing, Michael Jeans, Mitchell Reeves, Matt Clifton, Dustin Lee out in front, looking like a Southeast Motorsports night tonight here at Kentucky, Joel.
It's definitely looking like it might be a Southeast Motorsports night, but it's not over until the fat lady sings, and she's tuned it up, but she hadn't sung.
Well, I tell you, you are absolutely right until the singing has started. Now, thinking back to the Ladies' Day race we had last Saturday, we thought these drivers had it signed, sealed, and delivered till they wiped out on the last lap, giving Ivan Garcia from P7 to P1 in the blink of an eye. Anything can happen. Michael Jeans, loud and solid on this restart. Mitchell Reeves onto his outside. Matt Clifton and Dustin Lee side by side respectively here in positions 3 and 4.
Yeah, they're in 3 and 4 trying to track down the top 2, and right behind them you've got the 72 of Ryan Kuhn and Travis Browder trying to track down those 3.
Now the number 72 belonging to Ryan Kuhn. He has received a little bit of love out there on the broadcasting chat tonight. Haven't talked a lot about the number 72. Driving the 3M tonight, he is all over the rear end of number 20. Having to back her off, hit a little break right there. He was going to run him over. But that outside lane with the number 20 of Matt Clifton, the number 51 of Dustin Lee being led by Mitchell Reeves, actually going to get the roundabout pass on Michael Jeans. Michael Jeans very easily dropping to position 2 right now. Dustin Lee trying to put him one more position back down. Mitchell Reeves back down to the front, utilizing every bit of this Kentucky Motor Speedway track on lap 66.
Yeah, I think Michael Jeans has burned his tires up, and he's just going to keep on dropping back to these others that have just gotten tires recently.
Right now, Michael Jeans has dropped back 3 positions right now, battling for 4th place alongside of the 72 of Ryan Kuhn. Just a couple of laps ago, he was out there in front. So you're quite possibly right. Tire wear being everything out here. But Michael Jeans bound and determined not to lose any more spots, racing hard with the number 72 of Ryan Kuhn. But Ryan Kuhn taking the pass. Right now, we have got Michael Jeans side by side with Travis Browder. Michael Jeans losing 4 spots now due to tire wear, doing everything he can to hang on to the side-by-side draft of Travis Browder.
Yeah, he's trying to hang on, but he's still falling back. He's fixing to lose position to Scott Sanders and be back in 8th position in just a minute.
Now, a little bit of food for thought right here, Joe. We know that Michael's tires are burnt up. I mean, we can see that because he has lost 6 spots here. Caution is out. And we're looking at the number 88 of Gary Burt. Unfortunately, making contact with the wall. Appears as Gary was coming around the corner. A little bit of tight racing there with the number 15. 15 being driven by Jeff T. Martin. You know, I really can't call that one as a driver error. Yeah, that is really tight right there to call, Joel. What do you think? I'm not really seeing anything bad right there, but watching it after the contact, there was definitely some net code right there going on. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I could see the 88 car jump around a couple of times as they got together. There was some contact, but I think it was mainly net code that caused it.
Yeah, we're looking at that, and we are seeing the 88 make some contact with the number 15. But as he started to spin left, he took a very sharp spin to the left. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what we call net code. I mean, there is no logical explanation to explain why the number 88 of Gary Burt just jumped sideways. I mean, the good Lord himself may as well have come down, picked up that car, and just took it for a 180-degree spin. But unfortunate break there for Jeff T. Martin, victim of a little bit of net code. Actually, it doesn't appear that Jeff T. Martin got any damage right there. So lucky break for Jeff T. Martin.
Yeah, since he got Jeff T. Martin didn't get any damage, it was totally net code, because that's the only way you're going to touch cars and not get damage is the net code to make you touch.
One of these days, we will figure out how to get that net code out of our racing rooms. Live replay. Big shout out to GW Graphics, doing a great job there tonight on the replay, along with Michael D'Amico. We have not yet talked to Ryan Kuhn tonight. Ryan Kuhn should be restarting in position 4. How are you doing, Ryan?
How's it going?
Having a good time up here watching that 3M getting his way up to the front. Going to be looking at about a 9-lap shootout. How are your tires, sir?
I think we're pretty good. We came in the caution before, took 4 with all the other guys, and worked our way up to 4th. It's going to be a good race to the end. You better keep in touch. It's going to be a really, really fun race to the end.
Copy that. From here on out, our cameras will be glued to you up there in the front. Anybody you want to give a big shout out to, or anybody that you're out here driving for tonight?
I'd like to give I'd like to give a shout out to my sponsor for next year, Everett's Auto Parts, on board for us in a real life NASCAR late model at the Seekonk Speedway next year. I'd like to give them a shout out. They're probably not here tonight, but I'd like to give them a shout out.
Alrighty, copy that. Well, I tell you what, you can share the replay of tonight's live broadcast to your sponsor, and he'll know all about you mentioning his name. And mention his name one more time, sir.
Everett's Auto Parts, on board with us next year for a late model ride.
Copy that. Everett's Autos Part. Alrighty, Ryan, good luck to you tonight, sir.
Thank you.
Alrighty, that was Ryan Kuhn in the number 72. Somewhat of a regular racer. Do not really know a lot about Ryan Kuhn, but I do know right now here on lap 71, approaching a 8-lap shootout, he is in 4th position, and that is a very good spot to be. Now behind Ryan Kuhn, we do have Travis Browder and Nathan Sylvia and Steve Dutz. These 3 drivers have been doing a very fine job out here tonight. Justin Anderson, position 8. Douglas Hess, position 9, and Tristan Beats rounding out your top 10. So I would say right now, Joel, any of these top 10 drivers could bring her home tonight here at Kentucky, but the pressure is on for Mitchell Reeves and Dustin Lee.
Definitely any one of the top 10 could, but if the top 2 or 3 top 2 and 3 take each other out, and the rest of them pile into them, somebody from 11th through 15th could be the one that comes home with the win.
Well, and even possibly position 18 being held by Michael James. Now, Michael James was up here in the front just a few minutes ago, but he's fallen back to position 18, still getting some shouts out there from Amanda Stewart, rooting her man on here on lap 72 of 80. But our cameras are going to be focused up here in the front with Mitchell Reeves, Dustin Lee, Matt Clifton, Ryan Kuhn. All right, ladies and gentlemen, time to pick your winner here. Looking at a 8-lap shootout here at Kentucky Motor Speedway. Let me hear it out there on that All Pro Broadcasting chat. I am thinking Matt Clifton tonight, Joel.
I'm going to go with Travis Browder.
You're thinking Travis Browder. I am thinking Matt Clifton. So you're thinking, like I am, that Mitchell Reeves and Dustin Lee might possibly be pressing those tires too hard and get run over.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, well, Mitchell Reeves, hard and heavy on that restart, out in front already by 6 car lengths. Drivers are 3 wide across the track on this restart. Mitchell Reeves right now running for his life. Position 2, Dustin Lee racing against the number 72 of Ryan Kuhn and the number 20 of Matt Clifton. Matt Clifton losing positions, and Ryan Kuhn in 3rd place trying to get up to the rear end, and caution is out. And we are looking at the 0-1 of James Lehman. Not pretty sure if it was James Lehman at fault or not, backing it up. And we're looking at the number 5 tonight, turning a little bit sideways in front of James Lehman. The number 5 belonging to Michael Corson. Michael Corson touching down onto that apron, causing a little bit of interference, and as he did, the number 93 of Scott Sanderson up into the rear end of the number 5 of Michael and into the side of James Lehman. Jarrett Lipster, number 99, absolutely nowhere to go, as well as the number 4 of Andrew Williams, taking a T-bone on to James Lehman. Again, nothing that driver could go. Unfortunately, for the number 5.
And it looks like also, looks like the 0-1 was tied up in that as well, Scott. So a lot of good drivers got took out in that one.
So that is going to change the way things are going to work out here tonight at Kentucky. That is still going to keep Mitchell Reeves and Dustin Lee and Ryan Kuhn out there on front. We're going to be looking at a 2-lap shootout is what I am thinking here, Joel.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably a 2-lap shootout too, Scott. And we got Travis Browder there in 4th place, so I think it's going to come down to one of those 4.
Mitchell Reeves, Dustin Lee, Ryan Kuhn, or Travis Browder. And I don't know, I'm thinking Matt Clifton still. You know, Matt Clifton is an extremely powerful driver. Why don't we go on and pull Matt Clifton up here and see what his thoughts are going to be on it. How about it, Matt Clifton? Have you got a copy?
What's up, man?
Now, we are up here trying to discuss who we think is going to finish out on tonight's race at Kentucky. Been a little bit of a long one here with 8 cautions. I am putting my money on you, sir. Do you agree?
If it'd go green, I agree. If not, then nothing.
All right, now we're going to be looking at, what are we looking at about here? 2-3-lap shootout?
Yeah, it just needed to go green. One of more yellows. I think I got the fastest car on the track.
All righty, copy that. We're going to be keeping those eyes glued up onto the top 5. You're down there running with the Southeast Motorsports Group, is that correct?
Yeah.
All righty, well, either way it goes, it looks like we're going to have somebody from Southeast Motorsports out here dominating Kentucky. Hopefully it will be you, sir. Good luck to you.
Appreciate it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit heavy tonight on the cautions, as I mentioned earlier. We threw Kentucky in here, kind of threw the boys for a little bit of a loop, as did Phoenix and Martinsville, which we don't even talk about Martinsville. Martinsville should be blacklisted, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen. They're not doing a bad job out here tonight, but tire wear with a hot track, a few drivers out here are struggling with those conditions. Mitchell Reeves, Dustin Lee out in front, along with Ryan Kuhn and Travis Browder. So obviously these 4 drivers, Matt Clifton making the 5th driver, they are able to be out here handling the hot track temp. But right now with this little shootout, it is anybody's game, Joel.
Absolutely, it's still anybody's great game. That fat lady's tuning up, but she has not sung. And this is the time that the crew chief tells the driver, bring me one of two things, the steering wheel or the trophy.
These drivers have got one more lap to get around before we return to green flag racing. A good time for a couple of announcements and shout-outs. As I was mentioning earlier, before the caution come back out, this Friday night, my good friend Ivan Garcia, turning 72. We're going to run 72 laps at Pocono, and Ivan will be driving the number 72. So Friday night, it is all about the 70 Tuesday. Happy birthday. Oh no, it's Pocono for my good friend Ivan Garcia. Next Friday night, ladies and gentlemen, the race of the year. It is the Sanadega 3 2016. That will be the biggest race of the year. Make sure you are tuned in live to All Pro Broadcasting. That will be Friday, December 23rd. Great action brought to you by KMA Racing and Loose Lug Nuts, the sponsor for Sanadega 3 2016. Going to be some great paints out there, Joel.
Oh God, there's going to be some wonderful paints. Loose Lug Nuts and Over the Top Paints are putting out some of the most beautiful paint designs I've seen for a Christmas themed race. I can't wait to see all the ones he does put out there because he's still building them.
Well, it's not only John. You know, John's got a couple of great guys up there in the booth, up there in the shop helping him. Big shout out there to William Wise as well as Jason Covington. You know, the amount of work that Over the Top Paints and Designs has coming in, John decided to get some help up there. Restart, Mitchell Reeves out hard and heavy. Dustin Lee getting a little bit of it in the rear end by Travis Browder. Travis Browder giving him that chrome bumper, trying to get the number 51 of Dustin Lee moving. Side-by-side action with Dustin Lee and Ryan Kuhn. Ryan Kuhn backing down, losing a couple of spots too. 51 and Travis Browder. Right now out there in front is Mitchell Reeves. Right now Mitchell Reeves praying that it does. Well, actually, whether it stays caution-free or not, right now I do believe Mitchell Reeves has this sign sealed and delivered. He just has to hold that position up there. I am not quite sure if the number 51 has got enough tires to get up there. But Travis Browder on the inside, Nathan Sylvia on the inside of Travis Browder trying to advance his position up. Right now he is battling 5th place. Number 72 of Ryan Kuhn, but Mitchell Reeves way out there in front now, just trying to control the remaining lap, and the caution is out. Ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at Raymond Rittenauer. Raymond Rittenauer actually not at fault, moving forward a position to, I believe, the 29 of Douglas Hess. Here's the number 29 of Douglas Hess, making contact with the wall a little bit, and the number 73. The number 73 being driven by Justin Anderson. Unfortunate break for Douglas Hess and Justin Anderson, bringing out the final caution of the night. Tonight's replay sponsor, GW Graphics. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to sign and seal to deliver tonight in race 14 of 15 in the Tuesday Night TNT Series. And it will be Mitchell Reeves, Dustin Lee, and Travis Browder bringing home that 1, 2, 3 position. These drivers do have to make it around this track one more time under caution pace speed. And then we are going to get these drivers up into the booth as soon as they have finished up this remaining lap. Talk to me about what your thoughts are here at Kentucky, Joel.
It was a rough night for the drivers tonight at Kentucky. The track was slick. Maximum tire wear on the drivers, making it hard from the controlled cars going through the corners and causing them to hit the wall because the car's too tight. Other than that, though, it was great racing. We saw hard racing. We saw give and take to start with, but then in the closing laps, you didn't see no give and take. So therefore, it was great racing.
All right, joining us up in the booth is our P3 position, Travis Browder. Talk to me about your race, please.
Hey, Scott. It was it was a good race. Some cautions at the times, but wish we had green flag pit stops. But it is what it is, and I had a lot of fun. Been in the top 10, top 5 most of the night, so I've been around there. But happy I got P3 out of that. Had a pretty good restart there between me and Kuhn there, and the outside was the way to go on restart.
Copy that. Had us on the edge of our seats right there, Travis. Very good job. Any final shouts, Travis?
Scott, you for KMA, of course. Congrats to Mitchell Reeves and Dustin Lee there for the top 2. Becky and Michelle, thank you all for watching. John Hendrick, Paints and Designs. Jason Ruscio for the sponsor. And you guys in the booth.
Alrighty, copy that. Good job tonight, Travis.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks, guys.
How about it, Dustin Lee? Very good. Second place position tonight.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, well, talk to me about the last couple laps there. I know they were a little bit heavily laden with the caution, but you put on a good show tonight. Talk to me about how you did it.
Honestly, they were having all the fun up front there. I actually went to the back, and it was a pretty big field tonight. It was actually 39 cars out there, so went to the back, come back to the front. Managed to I guess time it just right to make it to the front in time. Which we could have had a little bit longer of a run there towards the end. I think it might have had a little something for Mitchell, but on these short runs, and it just really didn't have the speed, I don't think. But nonetheless, P2, not too bad.
Alrighty, not too bad at all. Thank you, sir, for coming out and hanging out tonight. Good job to you, sir.
Thank you, and thanks to the sponsors, Pro Automotive, and Team Southeast, and sponsor Autofield Welding, and thank you guys for broadcasting this. It's fun to race. All Pro Broadcasting, don't forget that.
Alrighty, copy that. All Pro Broadcasting. But the man of the hour, Mitchell Reeves. How are we doing, sir?
Oh, we're doing pretty good.
Alrighty, I know you're doing quite well, getting a win here at Kentucky. Obviously, you were the man that knew what he was doing out here representing Southeast Motorsports in a solid 1-2 tonight. Talk to me briefly about the overall, your thoughts on tonight's race at Kentucky.
Well, I wouldn't say I knew what I was doing. I just got lucky and got in the right place at the right time, Scott. I mean, it was a really good race. It was really interesting to me taking a lot of knowledge from last night's race at Auto Club and applying it to this. It really was surprising because it was kind of the same deal where it was, it was the track was slick, tires were going away really quick, and it was basically one line. And tonight here, it was just so hard to pass on the inside. I mean, it was a fight to see who could get the outside because the only time you're going to be able to make a pass is on exit, and if you were able to get there, then you'd be good. Once we finally got back to the lead with some tire strategy and, working with our teammates at Southeast, ended up pulling it out, 1-2 again for the second night in a row. Fortunately tonight I'm actually in first place and not in second, but man, I'd like to have a win in that Monday night series. But, huge shout out to everybody here for the Tuesday night series. Jason Russo stepping up, giving us a place to race. Can't thank him enough. KMA Racing for all you guys do. Scott, all the time that you've taken away from your racing to announce a whole bunch of people on a virtual racing game. It means a lot to a lot of us, and we really appreciate that. But I'd also do John Hendrick, Top Designs, and off the broadcaster and just Hendrick KMA, and I can't wait for the next one.
All right, copy that. Very good job once again, Southeast Motorsports and Mitchell Reeves. Thank you for hanging out.
Thanks, man.
All right, Joel. Well, that does wrap up race 14. Now next week we are going to Las Vegas and the class. I don't think it should be a really hot race up there in Vegas. What do you think?
Definitely, that's going to be a hot race in Vegas. But it's going to be another track just like this one. It's going to be rough. It's going to chew tires. So it's going to take tire management and throttle control to get around Las Vegas. Las Vegas is sits out there in the desert, and that sun just bakes that asphalt, and it just destroys the track so far as having any smooth surface.
All right, copy that. We're going to wrap things up here in the Tuesday night series. Big shout out to Jason Russo with Top Paints, All Pro Broadcasting, and our grid sponsor, Overtop Paints and Designs, as well as our replay sponsor, GW Graphics. Michael D'Amico with All Pro Broadcasting. On the cameras, I am Scott, is Joel, and we'll see you Friday at the Oh No, It's Pocono. Thanks for helping me out, Joel.
You're perfectly good. Welcome, Scott. See you on Friday night.
Yes, sir.
You're watching All Pro Broadcasting with Freedom Train.